So good morning to all of you. This is Computer Graphics Lab. We started the unit 2 weeks ago, and today we were gonna do experiment number 9, that is to rotate a given triangle clockwise and anti-clockwise about a given arbitrary point. Okay, this is the experiment we have done in the theory part, so it will not be difficult for you to understanding the things. Okay, one more experiment B part is there in this experiment to perform the reflection of a point about a line y equal to mx plus c. Today we will gonna do only the A part of this experiment. The B part will be in the next week. I know you have just given the MSTs, so I decided in this week no worksheet will be given to you for this experiment, and there will be no pre-lab, no post-lab questions will be there. Okay, but in the next week, yeah, no problem, Rohan. But in the next week, both things will be there, so be prepared for that. Worksheet will be there, and also the pre-lab and post-lab question for this experiment. Okay, so here's the outline of my today's PPT. Firstly, we will gonna discuss what are the basics of transformation, then what is rotation, because we have to rotate an object with respect to an arbitrary point. Then we're gonna discuss what are homogeneous coordinates, rotation of an object with respect to arbitrary points, and in the last, reflection with respect to a line y equal to mx plus c. So this last point we will not gonna do it today. In the next week we will probably do that. Okay. So let's start with the basics of transformation. The transformation means change. So change in either the shape of an object, size of an object, or we can say the position of an object is called as a transformation. So here's the transformation matrix equation. Let's say x star, this x star is a transformed matrix. Okay, how a how a object can be transformed if we apply some transformation matrix, or we can say vectors, translation vectors, scaling vectors, sharing vectors, something like that. So T here is actually the transformation matrix. Okay, the transformation matrix, the transformation can be anyone which we have discussed. It can be translation, it can be scaling, it can be reflection, it can be anyone. X is the original matrix. This normal X will be the original matrix. Okay, now there are different types of transformation that we have discussed. Basically we did 5 types of transformation. The very first one is translation, then we have rotation, scaling, reflection, and the last one is sharing. Let's discuss these transformations in a brief one by one. So translation. Translation means changing the position of an object. Okay, as you can see, these are my xy coordinates, and I have an object placed here, square. We have a square placed here. This is my square. Okay, now what I want is, I want to change the position of an object. So what I require is a translation vector. I hope you remember the translation vectors. Translation is the only transformation which has the addition operation. That's why we introduced the homogeneous coordinates. Okay, so by applying the tx and ty, the translation vectors, we can change the position of an object, as you can see here. Okay, there is no change in the size of an object or the shape of an object, but the position of an object is changed here. Okay, the next transformation I am discussing here is the scaling. Scaling means changing the size of an object. As you can see here, I am having a square with the xy coordinates, and by applying the scaling factors, the scaling factors are sx and sy. Okay, here's my question for you. I just want to ask you one question. What happened when scaling factors, that is Sx and Sy are less than 1, object size remains same, object size increases, object size decreases, or the last option, none of these. Okay, so here's the question on you. So dear students, here's the polling question for you. What happens when scaling factors, that is Sx and Sy, are less than 1? So you have to tell me what happened here. So still there is a class of, we have a class of 34 students, and out of that 9 students has not responded. Mr. Ankit Dhankar, Arun, Ayush, Mehak Jain, Mohammad Imran, Rahil Shah, and Vishal Srivastava. So still we have a 5 student left in the class. Now only 3 students left: Mehak Jain, Mohammad Imran, and Rahil Shah. Only these 3 students are left. Humbly requesting them to kindly respond, otherwise they will be removed from the session. If you're not, respond, you will be removed out of the session. Mehak Jain, Mohammad Imran, and Rahil Shah. Are you there, guys? You wanna respond, or should I take you out? You're not responding yet. Okay, guys. So let me show you the correct answer. Yes, the correct option is the third one. Whenever we have the scaling factors value lie between 0 and 1, what happens? The size of an object decreases. But if we have the scaling factors value, that is Sx and Sy, greater than 1, then the size of the object increase. Okay, when the object size remains same, when both the value of Sx and Sy is equal to 1. Okay, so just refreshing the things. Okay, now let's get back to the scaling factors. So scaling is nothing but, we can say, changing the size of an object. As you can see here, the size of a square is now actually changed into a rectangle. It means the y value remains the same, the x value is enlarged. Okay, it means the value of Sy will be equal to 1, and Sx will be either 2 or either it can be 3. Okay, because the x value has been increased here. Okay, so that is it for the scaling transformation. Now let's discuss the rotation. So this is very important because we have to perform the rotation about an arbitrary point, so please pay attention here. Let's say this is my xy axis and I have an object, it's a square. Rotation means rotating an object with respect to a particular angle theta. So theta angle will be given to us. Let's say the theta is 45 degree. Theta angle given to me is 45 degree. So what I have to do is I have to rotate this object either in the anti-clockwise direction or in the clockwise direction. That depends on the direction given to us. Okay, here we have been given that we have to rotate the object in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, let's suppose the anti-clockwise direction is given to us. So as you can see, the object is now rotated at a theta angle 45 degree. Okay, how it is done, we will gonna see that later. Just understand the basic concept of how the transformation rotation is going. Okay, the last transformation I am discussing here is the shearing. Shearing means distortion in the shape of the object. Distortion means, as you can see here, this is my xy axis and the y-axis, as you can see, these two axes has been distorted. Distorted means they are not just the same as the previous, they has been changed. Either the shape, as you can see, the shape is now a parallelogram. Initially it was a square, now by distorting the y-axis, now it has taken a shape of a parallelogram. I hope you remember these mathematical terms. Okay, so one transformation is missing here, that is a reflection. Reflection means to produce a mirror image of an object. Okay, so now we will gonna discuss about the rotation term. Okay, the rotation. Rotation is nothing but we can say to rotate the object with respect to a angle theta. Okay, we have to rotate the object with respect to the angle theta. Let me give you a scenario where P point is given to us having a angle phi, and it is rotated at an angle theta, and it is making a new point P dash x dash comma y. So initially I have a given point Px comma y. This is my point which has been given to me, and it is actually making an angle of phi. Okay, initially the point was here in the first quadrant and it was making an angle phi. What I want is I want to rotate this object in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, in the anti-clockwise direction with respect to angle theta. The theta angle must be given to us. So while rotating, after the rotation, the point becomes a P dash x dash comma y dash. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to calculate the value of x and y in the polar coordinates. So what will be the value of cos phi? What will be the value of cos phi? Cos phi will be equal to x upon r, that is upon hypotenuse. Hypotenuse here is the radius r. Here it is, as you can see, it is denoted by r. What will be the value of sine phi? Sine phi will be equal to, that is perpendicular upon hypotenuse, that is perpendicular की value क्या है? That is y upon r. Okay, the value is y upon r. Okay guys, now just put up the values. Now I have calculated these values, polar coordinate values, for this particular point. Okay, for this particular point, for this p dash x dash comma y dash, the value will be cos theta plus phi. That will be cos theta plus phi, because we have to take all the angles. You know, the first angle that is made by this one, and the second angle that is the rotated angle. So the equation will be something like this one. The very first equation I told you for the point px comma y will be x is equal to r cos phi, y will be equal to r sin phi. Okay, in the same way we can also represent the p dash x comma y dash, that will be equal to x dash upon r is equal to cos theta plus phi, y dash upon r is equal to sin theta plus phi. I hope you remember the formula of cos a plus b. I hope you remember the formula of cos a plus b and sin a plus b. Cos a plus b is equal to cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. Okay, what's the formula of sin a plus b? That is cos a sin b and sin a cos b. Okay, here the sign is positive, but in the above one it is negative. Okay, now what I want is just put up these two values, substitute these two values here. The r cos phi will be replaced by x here, r sin phi will be replaced by y here. The same will gonna happen in the next equation. R cos phi will be x here and r sin phi will be y here. Now just substitute the values and we will gonna have the rotation matrix. Yes, so these are my rotation equation for the point p dash x dash comma y dash, that is x dash is equal to x cos theta minus y sin theta, and y dash will be equal to x sin theta plus y cos theta. I hope you remember these two equations. Okay, on the basis of these two equations we can determine which direction or the theta angle is positive or negative. Okay, so there are two types of rotation. One is the anti-clockwise and one is the clockwise. For the anti-clockwise rotation, the equation for the rotation matrix will be this one. Okay, what you have to do is you just have to remember the equation. Okay guys, you just have to remember the equation. As you can see, Q point is here and the point is rotated at Q dash. Okay, now the Q dash. Okay, for the clockwise rotation, now the position of the point is Q dash. The theta angle will be given to us and the rotation matrix will be this one. Okay, now for the anti-clockwise direction, yes, let's say in initial position of the point is P here in the first quadrant, and after the rotation in the anti-clockwise direction, the position become P dash. Okay, as you can see, the position is P dash now. The matrix equation will be gonna change, and it will be cos theta minus sine theta, cos theta. Okay, the only difference is the negative sign. Okay, I hope you remember that in the clockwise direction, the negative sign was here with this sine theta, and this was positive. Okay, this was positive. The only difference is with the negative sign with the sign. Okay, so let's have a one example here. I have been given a triangle with the coordinates a 2 comma 2. This is a. Let me change the color of the pen. This is a point of a triangle, that is 2 comma 2. B is given as 8 comma 2 and C is given as 5 comma 5. What I want is I want to rotate this triangle with the theta angle given to us 90 degree. Okay, now I hope you remember the rotation matrix for the anti-clockwise direction, that is cos theta minus sine theta cos theta. Now where the theta is there, the theta value given to us is 90 degrees, so just put up the values and calculate the rotation matrix. It will be cos 90 is 0, sin 90 is 1. Okay, cos 90 is 0 and sin 90 is 1. Now we can have the values here. This will be my rotation matrix. Now rotation matrix will be multiplied by each and every single coordinate of a triangle. Firstly, it is multiplied by A, and we have the new coordinates as minus 2 comma 2. When it is multiplied by B, we have the new coordinates of B dash, that is minus 2 8, and when it is multiplied by C, we have new coordinates minus 5 comma 5. Okay, and that point is C dash. So as you can see, the triangle is rotated now. This is A dash, this is B dash, and this is C dash. The new coordinates of a triangle when it is rotated. Okay guys, I hope you know a bit of matrix multiplication. We did that in the theory classes also. Okay, so one more example I am discussing here is I have been given a line segment. So for a line segment we require 2 points. The first point given to us is 0 comma 0, and the another point for the line segment is 4 comma 4. So what we have to do is we have to apply a rotation of theta angle given is 30 degree in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, in the anti-clockwise direction we have to perform the rotation and find out the new coordinates of a line segment. Okay, so let me show how to calculate the x new and the y new values. So for the anti-clockwise rotation, the equation is x cos theta minus y sin theta. Okay, now just put up the values of x and y. I have not taken 0 comma 0 because whatever the values are, when they will be multiplied by anything, it will be again 0 comma 0. Okay, so I am just calculating the rotation matrix points for 4 comma 4. Okay, I have not taken 0 comma 0 because इसको किसी से भी multiply कर लो 0 comma 0 से तो वो 0 ही आएगा. Okay, now cos 30 value is root 3 by 2 and sin 30 value is 1 by 2. Okay, now just put up the values and calculate. After the calculation, root 3 value is 1.73, and just calculate the things guys. The new x value means after the rotation it will be 1.46. Okay, we have just calculated only one value. still the y value is pending. Okay, we have not calculated the y value. The x value for the second point 4 comma 4 is 1.46. Now let's calculate the y new value. Y new value is equal to x sine theta plus y cos theta. So 4 multiplied by sine 30 plus 4 multiplied by cos 30 degrees. Sine 30 is 1 by 2 again, and cos 30 is root 3 by 2. Just put up the values and calculate. Here you can also take 2 common, that will be 1 plus root 3, and root 3 value is 1.73. So just calculate the things. 2 will be multiplied by 2.73 and final answer will be 5.46. So the new coordinates of a line segment will be 1.46 and 5.46. There are basically two methods to solve these type of equations. That was normal equation. You can also solve these type of questions in the form of a matrix. Okay, so cos theta minus sine theta cos theta, this is my transformation matrix, and this is my the point, object point. We can also call it as object matrix. Okay, now just put up the values. The theta angle value given to us is 30 degree. So cos 30 minus sine 30 cos 30. Okay, now multiply with the points, that is 4 4. After the multiplication, the answer will be the same which we have calculated in the other method. Okay, so this is the alternate method, that is in the matrix form, where we find out the new coordinates of a line after the rotation. So here's the diagrammatically representation of the line segment. Initially the line segment coordinates were 0 comma 0. This was the initial position, that is 0 comma 0, and another point given to us was 4 comma 4. After applying the 30 degree rotation with respect to the origin, we have new values, that is 1.46 and 5.46. So as you can see here, they are now rotated at a particular angle. Okay, so guys, any problem till now? Is this clear? Guys, any doubt till now? After that, I'm gonna take you to the homogeneous coordinates as well as okay, got clear from all the students. Just hold on, guys. Okay, that's great. So let's start the things now. I was just looking at the program which I'm going to show it to you. So this is the example exercise for you. You can solve it at your home. So let's discuss the homogeneous coordinates. I told you that the translation operation, or we could say the translation transformation, is the only transformation where we have addition operation. All the other transformation like scaling, rotation, reflection, and sharing, they have the multiplicative operation. So when we apply a series of the transformation on a single object, we are not able to define the translation matrix, because what we need is we want to define a single matrix which can perform multiple transformation on an object. That's why we introduce the concept of homogeneous coordinates. So let me show you a single matrix which is performing two operations. This matrix, is having this matrix A, B, C, D. This is actually a matrix showing the operation of scaling, and this M comma N. These are the translation vectors. So what we want is a single matrix which can perform multiple operations, as well as the additive operation of the translation should be converted into the multiplicative. That's why we introduced the concept of homogeneous coordinates. So homogeneous coordinates is nothing but a transformation of a 2 by 2 matrix into a 3 by 3 matrix. The third coordinate which I'm adding is 1. Okay, that is 1. So let me now directly take you to the where I want is, we have already discussed that in the class. Okay, so there is no need to discuss these things again. So what is a composite transformation? Can I ask you one question? What is composite transformation? Anyone in the class want to define me what is composite transformation? What is composite transformation? Have you heard about the term composite transformation? Anyone in the class? I want response. No one is responding. MST में भी आया था ये question if I'm not wrong. Okay, composite transformation means when we apply multiple transformations on a single object. For example, let me give you an example. I want to rotate an object with respect to a particular fixed point. So there will be a sequence of transformation that I have to perform on the object. For example, the very first transformation that we're gonna perform on the object will be translation. Translating the object to its origin. Second transformation which I am gonna perform is rotation of an object about the arbitrary point which has been given to us. Third thing, retranslating the object to its original position, and it is also called as reverse translation. So three steps are there while performing a rotation of an object with respect to the arbitrary point. Very first thing is the translation, second is rotation, and third one is retranslation of the object to its original position. So how it is carried out, let me show you with the example now. Yes, so let's say this is my xy axis, this is my y axis, and this is my x axis. Let's say I have been given an arbitrary point. This is my arbitrary point. I have to perform the rotation of the object, that is ABCD, a given sort of a rectangle, with respect to the pivot point x comma y. The very first step I told you was the translation of that particular pivot point to the center. Okay, that pivot point should be at the center. Okay, now after the translation operation, the second operation we will gonna perform is the rotation. Okay, rotation means, as you can see, the ABCD here was AB, this was CD. Now it is rotated as ABCD, means the rotation of an object with respect to a point, that is the arbitrary point, having the angle theta जो हमें given होगा. Okay, the third operation I am performing is the reverse translation, also known as t raised to power minus 1. That means the object will be retranslated to its original position. Okay, okay guys, any doubt in this one? So these were the three steps which I was talking about. The first one is the translating the object to the origin. Step 2 says rotate the object by an angle. The third thing I am discussing is translate back to its original position, also called as inverse translation. So these three operations, remember that. Should I continue with the example or I directly show you the program? Guys, you want me to show you the example? Okay. Okay, example is there. Yes. So three operations were there. I told you these three operations we have to perform. Just remember these three equations. Okay. The very first matrix is the translation 0 1 0 tx 0 1 ty 0 0 1. Then cos theta minus sin theta. Here the direction I am rotating is the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, anti-clockwise direction is there. Remember one thing, when I am choosing the anti-clockwise direction, it means I have to choose the column edge. Okay, here I am, this is the rotation matrix, and the third matrix will be this one. This is t raised to power minus 1. Okay, can anyone tell me why it is written as minus tx and minus ty? Why it is written as minus tx and minus ty? Class, why it is written as minus tx? Yes, it is reverse, because initially what we were doing was we were adding something. Okay, what we were doing was adding something, and here we are subtracting the thing. Okay, now here's the example. Here we have to perform a 45-degree rotation of a triangle. Okay, we have to perform a 45-degree rotation of a triangle. The coordinates given are 0 0 1 1 and 5 2. Okay, and the fixed point that has been given to us is minus 1 comma minus 1. So the matrix will be, this is translation, this is rotation, and this is again inverse of translation. अभी यहाँ पर minus one क्यों आ रहा है? The reason why here minus one is here because the point given is minus 1 comma minus 1. Okay, and when we perform the reverse translation, minus minus is plus. That's why it is written as 1 comma 1. Whenever I'm going to multiply these two equations, these three equations with each other, I'm going to have the final rotation matrix. Okay, let's say the final rotation matrix is this one. Now this rotation matrix will be multiplied with the object matrix. I hope you remember what is the object matrix. Tm multiplied by the Om. Tm means transformation matrix, Om means object matrix. So the Tm is now multiplied with the Om. This is my Om, object matrix, and this is my Tm. Okay guys, so the final answer is this one. As you can know, the first point will be this one, this will be my second point, and this will be my third point. Okay guys, it's very easy. Okay, done with this. Any problem in this now? We have already did this in the theory part, so I think no problem will be there. If still there is a problem, kindly let me know. Guys, any problem in this one? Should I consider no? Okay. Yes. Okay, that's great. Now let me show you the DOS box screen. So I think my program is visible to all of you. So let's discuss this program once. Okay. So include graphics.h, include conio.h, include iostream.h, and include math.h. These are the header files. I think you are very much aware about these files. These header files, I'm not going to repeat the things again. And the main method is there. In the main method, we have initialized the graphics. GD is equal to detect, GM is equal to detect, X1, X2, X3, Y1, Y2, Y3. So what I'm taking here is I'm taking a triangle here. Okay, I'm taking a triangle. For a triangle we require 3 points, that is A, B, C, or we can say X1, Y1, X2, Y2, and X3, Y. Okay, P and Q. What is this P and Q? P and Q here is an arbitrary point. the arbitrary point which has been given to me, with respect to which I am going to perform the rotation of a triangle. Some floating point values are also given here. One is the angle A, B, C, D, E, and F. Now, A, B, C, D, and E, F. These are the three new points of a triangle after the rotation. Okay, these are the new points after the rotation for a given triangle. Now, initialization of the graphics is there. That is a graphics driver, graphics mode, and the last one is BGI path. Initially, the user will gonna enter the coordinates of a triangle, that is x1, y1, x2, y2, and x3, y. The user will also gonna angle the theta angle with which we have to perform the. Now, I hope you remember the line function which is used to draw a line between 2 points. Let's say I want to draw a line between 2 points A, comma B. That is x1, y1 and x2, y2. So I'm going to use this line function. For the second line, that is between B and C. Okay, there are three points of a triangle A, B, and C. Initially, I draw a line between A, B. Then I am drawing a line between B and C, and the third line will be drawn between A and C. So respective coordinates will be there, x2, y2, x3, y3, and for the third, that is AC, it will be x1, y1, and x3, y. So I have to convert the angle into the radian one. So how it is done? Angle will be multiplied by the pi value, that is 3.14, and it is divided by 180. Okay. So let's say the arbitrary point for rotation of a triangle is x3 and y3. I have taken the value of x3 and y3 as an arbitrary point P and Q. Okay, I have not taken any specific point from the user that it will gonna enter the value of P and Q. I simply take the x3 and y3 value that has been entered by the user for the triangle. Now, I told you A, B, C, D, and E, F are the new coordinates of a line after the rotation of a triangle. Okay, now how the value of A and B are calculated? The value of A and B is actually calculated in 3 steps. This is translation, retranslation to the origin. This one is rotation, and this one is retranslation. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा उल्टा हो रहा है, बट कोई बात नहीं, आप p को आगे भी लिख सकते हो और this x1 minus p को आप पहले बाद में भी लिख सकते हो. It's up to you. The things will be same. Okay guys, समझ आ रहा है कुछ कुछ? x1 minus p means I am taking the object to the origin. Minus means I am decrementing the values and it is to the origin. The next thing I am doing is the rotation, and the third thing is plus p. Plus p means, yes, retranslation of an object. The b value, that is the y value. Y value में क्या add होगा? What will be added in the y? That is q. This is translation. This is rotation, and this one is what it is, retranslation. Okay guys, it's very easy. You can easily calculate the value of C and D in the same way. The formula is same, just the points are different. The x1 becomes x2 and the y1 becomes y2. Okay, in the for E and F, the same thing is there. The x2 becomes x3 here and the y2 becomes y3 here. So the line is here. We can draw the line between the 2 points, that is A comma B, B comma C, and A comma C. Okay guys, now let me show you the output now. So let's say the points are 150, 150, 300, 450, 200, 100. The theta angle, let's say, is 45 degree. So here is my triangle. Okay, guys. So this is it for the today's lab lecture, and you have to perform this in the very next lecture. That is, for the computer graphics lab, we have a 15 minutes of a break in between that, and after that you have to perform this one. Okay, guys, you understood this one? My dear students, are you getting the things? Okay, thank you so much for the confirmation. You can start making the program. Still there, there are 4 minutes left for the session, and you can start doing the program because each and every single student will be evaluated. So don't tell me, sir, we are left with the program or abhi humne banaya nahi or something like that. I want all the students to participate, and they must show me the program. Okay, guys, still you have 2 to 3 minutes left. I request you to kindly. Okay, class, still 2 to 3 minutes left. I humbly requesting you to kindly make the program. Make sure you will gonna join my session not from the mobile phone but from the laptop or the PCs. In case I told you to share your screen, if you fail to do that, you will be removed from the session, guys. Okay, class, are you writing up the things? प्रोग्राम बनाया जा रहा है या नहीं? Yes or no? Are you making up the program? Okay, Sanya is saying yes. That's great. Okay. Okay, just 1 minute left for the session, and after that, 15 minutes of break will be there. And when we will gonna meet after a break, I will allow you to share your screen. Okay, guys, do tell me one thing. I think the MS was very much easy. Is there any student in the class who says, sir, there were some questions which were not the part of our syllabus, और या हमने ना किया हो क्लास में? कोई ऐसा क्वेश्चन था? Did you see any single question in the exam or the MST which you say, sir, I think you skipped that question in the class, or that was something out of syllabus? Was there any question? Okay, Krati is saying, sir, no such question. Okay, that's great. Thank you so much, Krati. Okay, that's great, because I was a DQAC member, and I checked the MST very carefully, that there shouldn't be any single question which is not the part of the curriculum, or maybe out of syllabus. देखो हम भी इंसान हैं, कभी हमसे भी गलती हो जाती है. That's why I ask you such thing. So moreover, the MST of computer graphics was good, and we expect 90% marks from the class CSC3. Yes or no? चलिए सेशन लेफ्ट कर दीजिए. Just leave the session, guys. It's time is